a recording. Let's talk about these things. Let's continue. So as I was saying earlier that before we were disrupted by this network, but we'll give them a good recording. Just tell them that, Ezra. I was saying awesome. So I was saying we have to find the right person for advice, isn't it? Then I was saying people must always try to improve themselves. We need to improve ourselves, family. Try to grow in this world. A person who gives advice has certain responsibilities he must face. So I was alluding to the fact that you as elders, you'll be giving advice. So you must have certain responsibilities. We have to be careful to try and play instructor when we lack the necessary information to do so. You can't be an elder when you have no information to do so, to give to the people. We have to be careful because we can only be adding to the prevailing problem as we are doing that. So don't advise by imposing our own temperament. I said that we don't impose. There were very few we were showing ourselves before we were cut in this video online, but we are recording a recorded one which will be so clean. We are saying that in the past it was easier than it is. There were very few religious arguments 500 or 1,000 years ago because most persons belonged to a community, a household, community life, which was suitable to all of them. So in those days, the elders were the source of instructions. They had elders, and these elders who are saying they did not speak from academic background. They spoke from the experiences, from the experience of ages. They spoke also from a lifetime of constant service to their fellow man. They did not have many ideas of their own. All the ideas that they had been handed down in the scriptures or in the teachings of their fathers, of the fathers. So I think I ended where I was saying that there was again a kind of descent of infallibility, of infallibles, incapable of failure or error because they are an organized household structure. That's what we want to have. Things that always had worked, things that always did solve, and which the new generation was waiting to apply to their own problems, things which they taught. As the family ties broke, we have seen where we are at now, and the situation has scattered. It has scattered a great deal of this wisdom, and we no longer have this wisdom to an average people or persons. So all these things have been damaged because we lost the household way of living. 1 John 1 verse 1. That's where we began to go now. 1 John 1 verse 1 says, that which was from the beginning. So these things we're discussing are from scriptures. We need to build ourselves based on the scriptures. Even this household brethren will be built like that. That which was from the beginning, which we have heard. Can you hear that? That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled, of the word of life. Verse 2, for the life was manifested, and we have seen it, and bear witness, and show unto you that eternal life which was with the Father, and was manifested unto us. Verse 3, that which we have seen and heard declare we unto you. So brothers, Brother Ezra, Brother Levi, we are going to declare to the people that which you have seen and heard from the scriptures, isn't it? You see? Declare we unto, it says, that which we have seen and heard declare we unto you, that you also may have fellowship with us. And truly our fellowship is with the Father and with his Son Jesus Christ. So today, if we are having a problem, because family ties have been broken, like I was mentioning, if you have your problem, you want to sort them out yourself because you feel you are educated academically and you have your money or you have your nice life. Today now, if we have if we are having a problem on our hand, we want help, we cannot simply ask somebody, because we don't have these elders with the truth anymore. Even the so-called men of God are failing us, isn't it? When we have a problem, we cannot just ask somebody. We cannot take it over the fence with a neighbor. We cannot go down the street to a friend or who we play bridge with on a Tuesday evening to sort out your issue. You see, there are no elders with the truth which we're trying to discuss here. These are not the ways in which we can hope to find solutions anymore. Of course, the first problem when faced with difficulties is to look inside yourself, isn't it? Look inside yourself. If you can be completely honest with yourself, you are the best counselor you ever have. When we begin to understand this truth, family, you begin to understand that you are the best counselor you ever have, because the truth is going to reside in your brain, isn't it? In your head. You are the best counselor you ever have, but many people are not capable of that degree of impersonality, because we have lost touch of who we are. So they are bound to sit on one end of the scale where they were a problem. They will use the flesh. They will sort out a problem to feed their fleshly desires. So instead of following the fact of the problem, they follow the implication that they wish to recognize. They always sort out problems according to the implication that they wish to recognize. Of course, satisfy that inner void of the flesh. But if the problem arises, every individual should be able to say to himself, when you have a problem, we all need to say to ourselves, I've done everything possible to solve this problem. We need to reach a level where we are the ones to do everything possible to sort out our problem, isn't it? But we need the truth in us. That's why we need this household to give us that truth, which will give us the strength and the courage to sort out our own problems. That's why you saw when Paul says, let us go into perfection. He says, forgetting about the laying on of hands. You don't need someone to lay hands on you now, Ezra. You have the capability of doing so when the truth dwells in you, isn't it? You see? Not that laying of hands is wrong. It's for people who are growing up. So that was just one example I'm giving. So we need to be able to say to ourselves, I've done everything possible to solve this problem. To what degree am I at fault? You start to now introspect when you have a problem. To what degree am I at fault in a critical situation that is developing? Because in every problem we go to, there's a degree of faultiness from our side. It's much better to do this yourself, I'm telling you, than for you to pay $1,000 or 1,000 kwacha for an analyst to do it for you. That is where we need to take you to. You don't need an analyst to do. You don't need to come to me every time to feel at peace. The word of God in you must begin to give you peace when you begin to follow it. And he may come up, this guy you're going to pay $1,000 will just come up exactly with the same answer which you had in the first place. But the question first of all is that, can we solve it ourselves? We have to think like that. Can I solve it myself? And how do I solve it? Am I failing to survive? How do I solve it? I need to do a business, isn't it? It's myself. I need to do A, B, C, and D. Have I failed to find a good job? How am I great at school? Do I need to rewrite my exam? You do it, isn't it? You see? Then you move on. How am I going to pass an exam? I need to read every day, right? You see? So we need, first of all, to make sure that we can solve it ourselves. So the individual has to curb his own appetites. We need to curb our appetites are what brings us into troubles. The appetites. Instead of you doing the right things, instead of you being in church on Sunday like this, these places usually are empty because they are speaking truth which cannot be profitable to the flesh, isn't it? But 100% of people want to be scratched in the flesh. So how do we bring them here? It's not possible, you know. That's why Ezekiel says they will not listen. They are an impudent people. But we need to begin to bring out people who understand truth and who are craving for the truth to satisfy the spiritual side of man, not the fleshy side of the man. So we need to curb our appetites, family. We have to put certain restrictions upon our own ambitions. And every ambition must be aligned to truth. If an ambition is to satisfy your flesh, drop it. You have to suffer in the flesh for you to stop sinning. You have to sacrifice your flesh. We must live within an area of our own available intelligence. And if we do this, if we do not do this, we are bound ultimately to come to difficulties. These things I'm speaking are facts. You are elders, especially you elders, you understand. If we don't keep our appetites, and if we don't live within our own available intelligence, if we don't do this, we are bound ultimately to come to difficulties. Actually, I've said this one time and again, and I always say it because I want people to learn and grow. Brother Levi, we are all in this world to solve problems ourselves. Brother Ezra, we are in this world to solve problems ourselves. AJ, you are in this world to solve problems yourself. You understand? Me, I can only find money. Gladys, you are going to sort out your papers yourself, isn't it? Me, I can just find money for you to go to school. Even you folks, you are here on earth to sort out problems yourselves. Now, in a complicated civilization such as we live in now, it's not always possible to do this alone, isn't it? That's why we have a household, right? Because the breakdown of what was supposed to be straightforward, we messed up. We must so meaning now because of the situation we're in. We're supposed to sort out things ourselves, but because of the situation, the environment is not enabling, we must call in help. That's why now you have the household and the elders. You know? We must do various things that will assist us in protecting our integrity and our normal rights and our responsibilities. These are very important key things for any human being to survive in this earth. Or else you'll be running around with your friends with cars, thinking Mannie Nsofwa is just making noise. But by the time you realize that you messed up, you'll be too late. But unless we come to these things as humanity, we're all going to be in the same problems where we are in. We're always going to come to some kind of complication. We must begin to take heed to what the Son of Man is saying. So, we must do various things that will assist us in protecting our integrities, our normal rights, and our responsibilities. And you must begin to estimate the kind of person that can help you. You can't just go to anyone, Levi, Ezra, anyone, even me. You estimate a person who can help you. That's why you are finding yourselves in the so-called papas. You're not estimating who can help you. You see? And of course, in this estimation, you estimate, well, we're talking about the spirit, isn't it? If you want to be helped in the flesh, then you go to the papas or go to the religion. It will satisfy your flesh. But what we are building, Ezra, it does not satisfy flesh. You understand? Levi, you are an elder of this church. You begin to understand what we are teaching is not to satisfy the flesh, but the spirit. I hope you understand what I mean. So we need to estimate the kind of person to go to for help. We are usually in trouble because we have opened ourselves to injury. We are in trouble because we have opened ourselves to injury. When we are living a good life, we become careless. We don't save. We don't work for tomorrow. When we're young, we are running around chasing after women, chasing after girls, getting into trouble. We are open to injury. We are usually in trouble because we ourselves have opened up injury. We have let it in, isn't it? Are we together? That's why we are in trouble. We must find someone who we know to be qualified of the problem we want to solve. And I've told you, this household is qualified to give you a kind of life which will not be prone to injury. So you need to find someone who you know to be qualified to to solve your life problems. For example, even in the household, a parent must be a careful thinker. Levi and I are parents. We are learning that. It doesn't mean we should have been, our pasts were wrong. We messed up, isn't it? Now we're beginning. You get the point? So even as parents now, we're going to be good parents. A parent must be a careful thinker on a number of subjects. You cannot parent a child if you're not a careful thinker on a number of subjects. Ezra, even when you beginning to think to get married, you must understand a lot of things, because you're going to bring out this little child into the world, isn't it? And it's how they begin to live a straight life, or how they begin to live any life, is how you taught them. So you must be a thinker on a number of subjects as a parent and as an individual. A person that gives advice must be well informed in an area where that advice is needed. You have noticed for 20 years I've been talking about the household. And obviously I'm well informed in this area, isn't it? You can check from the scriptures, and what we see is exactly the same. 1 Timothy 3 verse 2 said, so a person that gives advice must be well informed in an area where that advice is needed. We must not be controlled by the past. We failed, so what? Now we begin, isn't it? And this time we begin in the spirit. We failed because we are living in the flesh. So we're talking about finding these right people who understand the truth, and we have them here in our midst. So 1 Timothy 3 verse 2 says, a bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife. That's why these elders must be blameless. I must be blameless. I must be a husband of one wife. Gladys, how many wives do I have? Which one? Lulu. You see? A husband of one wife. You see? And then it says, so a bishop must be, an elder must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach. This person must be ready to teach life lessons, good manners, good things. 2 Timothy 2:24, and the servant of the Lord must not strive. Elders don't strive. We don't strive. But be gentle unto all men, apt to teach. The key point is apt to teach. We must begin to learn Ezra. You must be apt to teach. Apt to teach, that means reading the Bible to a person. No. Apt to teach, and must be patient. You people can learn life lessons to you, isn't it? From you. You see? So you must be apt to teach and be patient. And when we give solutions, Ezra, Levi, everyone, all solutions must be according to integrity. You can't give a solution because it benefits you, isn't it? It must be according to integrities, because it's right in the eyes of God, isn't it? Not in your eyes. All solutions must be according to integrities. We don't want to give advice and realize later that our advice made that problem worse. Do we want to do that? Let's not bring people here and try to give them advice. By doing so, because we are not vested in an area of that, we make it worse. So we don't want to give advice and realize that our advice made the problem worse. You will ruin people's lives by your hasty advice. The world is ruined because people are following the Adamic advices. This is my voice until I die, trying to add this clarity to humanity. Whoever hears it, if people want to hear it, I'll speak to the rocks. You see? So we must do that, because we know for a fact these things, I'm not making them up, it's reality. We have been telling the world, I've been telling you family for many times, that breaking the rules is a source of suffering. We are suffering as humanity because we broke the rules, isn't it? Where we are, all of us, the little trouble you have is because you broke some rule. You didn't do it right somewhere. That's it. But the thing is that we are on earth to learn the earth and grow. When you break one rule, that means it's over. No, you can start again. You see? You see? Next time with proper understanding and patience and you be careful. So breaking the rules is a source of suffering. I'm repeating these things so that people get it sinks. So somewhere, but why I love this earth where I was brought to, everything I know I've been taught by observing and listening with a sober heart, with a softened heart. Because I know and I believe that somewhere in the great teachings of mankind, there is an answer to your problem, isn't it? Any problem you have in the great teaching of mankind, there is an answer. Wherever you are at, even today, for you, you might think, I'm done. What chances do I have? Every man has a chance. Somewhere in the teachings of mankind, there is an answer to your problem. Always we have to understand motive, because that's what determines the consequences of our actions. Whenever you want to do something, what's the motive? Why do you want to touch that girl, someone's daughter? What's your motive? You understand? Why do you want to drink alcohol? Why do you want to mischange? You see? Let me say that again. Always we have to understand motive, because that's what determines the consequences of our actions. If the motive is wrong, our actions are wrong. And 99% of our motives are wrong. That's why we are in these little troubles we are in. We have a right to try and make honest citizens of our children. We have the right to try and make honest citizens out of our children. I have a right to make honest citizens out of you guys, isn't it? That's my business, to make an honest citizen out of Ezra, out of Levi, out of Lumbuka, out of everyone, out of AJ and everyone. You see? These things, you listen to them and follow them, things will be okay. I showed you in John 1 verse 1, I say the things which you have seen and touched and ate, that's what we teach, isn't it? You see? So, we have to do that. You must be prepared to die the way you want to live, guys. As you live, so shall you die. So you need to prepare to die the way you want to live. If you live wrong, you die wrong, isn't it? The Bible says, he who live by the sword will die by the sword. By whatever you live is how you die. Remember, we know, why are we here on earth? To grow, to learn the earth and grow, right? And after this, there is a hope. Do you hear me? There is a hope which the Bible tells us. Everything we talk about is talking about the Bible. There's a hope, but this hope, no one knows what it is except God. Because Jesus says that himself. He says, myself, the angels, we don't know except my Father, isn't it? And Paul says, no eye has seen, nor ear heard, or has it entered into the mind of man what the Lord has prepared for those that love him, isn't it? So our business, Ezra, Levi, then is to become those that love God, isn't it? How do you love God? Loving truth, that's what we're saying. Loving God doesn't mean, no, me I love God by mouth. No. Because you decided I will love God. Is loving truth and following the truth. Moving in the truth. I hope this is making sense. So we must be prepared to die the way we want to live. Depend more and more upon the Spirit, family. Depend more and more upon the Spirit in you and less upon your appetite. You know what appetites are? Kagero, kubola, to go and do this. Things which excite the flesh. Let's depend less on those. So depend more and more upon the Spirit in you and less upon the appetite. 1 Peter 4:1, I've been talking about this scripture lately. We need to understand it very much. For as much then as Christ has suffered for us in the flesh, First Peter 4, verse 1. First Peter 4, verse 1. For as much then as Christ has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. See, when the Bible says Christ suffered in the flesh, stop watching religious movies where they are whipping Jesus and he's suffering in the flesh. No. What is to suffer in the flesh? You don't do what is nice for you, but you do what is nice for God, isn't it? You are suffering. Levi, isn't it? Suffering in the flesh means you can't do what will satisfy your flesh. You can only do what satisfies the truth, isn't it? Reality. So when the Bible says, for as much then as Christ has suffered for us in the flesh, it says, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. You suffer in the flesh like Christ did. Christ wouldn't go to parties or wouldn't take alcohol, wouldn't do anything. We wouldn't do what people do, these nice things. Not that we don't need nice things. We need them to be comfortable in this body, right? But they should not be the ones which inform who we are. You understand? I don't know if you get it. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. So, for as much then as Christ has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourself likewise with the same mind. For he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. So how do you stop sinning when you don't? Because you only sin comes when you are satisfying that what you want in your heart. Right? Now, if you can't satisfy that, then you won't sin. So how do you stop sinning? By suffering in the flesh. He will explain later. That he says, for he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. Verse 2, the same Peter 4, verse 2. The Bible says this. That is, we need to suffer in the flesh, that you no longer should live the rest of this. It says that he no longer should live the rest of his life in the flesh, to the lust of men, but to the will of God. And what is God? Truth, isn't it? So, 3, for the time past, Levi, Ezra, you guys, that time is gone when we should live in the flesh. He says, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles. We did that in the past, isn't it? Today can be the day we begin. When they say past means even a second before. You can make a change. He says, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles. When we walked in lasciviousness, in lusts, excess of wine, Pachikago, Kachani, what do you call those things? Ciders, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings. No, I can't come today. Today's Changamuriro for my cousin River. I can't come to church. Parties, isn't it? Banquetings and abominable idolatries. Verse 4, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. You know, when you start not to satisfy the flesh, even your very friends, Ezra, they'll say, this guy is weird. This God doesn't refuse this. We're just watching football. What's wrong with this? You understand? But like I always tell people, I can't watch football. And I'm not saying you should not watch football. I'm saying, for me, how I stop my flesh not to sin. I don't put myself in a situation which can make me easily sin, isn't it? Because when watching football, you're watching two people who are competing and you need to side. Isn't it? So meaning you protect those you love and you hate those. Just like what is happening in Zambia. We have two political parties, big political parties. So if you belong to one, you have to hate the other one. Probably even hate them, harm them, isn't it? So now, they think it's strange that you run not with them, that's Peter, to the same excess of wrath, speaking evil of you. Who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? The truth is always judging the quick and the dead. The quick are those who are alive. For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to God in the spirit. But the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watch unto prayer. These evil things will end. That's why we need to live a sober life and prayer for that. Prayer is not our Father who art in heaven. No. Prayer means your lifestyle is a prayer to God, isn't it? You behave right. You do right. So do not try to get along with the false notions for which you may give your life for which you may sacrifice your happiness or break the responsibilities you have with family and home. You're married, you give yourself out to adultery. You see what I mean? You see? Let me say that again. Do not try to get along with the false notions for which you may give your life, for which you may sacrifice your happiness or break the responsibility you have with family and home. Because family and home is very important. That's why even here the concept is family, isn't it? Household. So never compromise principle. Family, Ezra, Levi. Do not compromise principle. When principle says, just like now, I'm just giving an example. If you want to have maize next year, you need to sow, isn't it? Or have a job and buy meal meal. Principle demands that you do something. Paul says, God is not mocked. Whatever man sows, so shall we reap. So never compromise principle because human beings demand it. They demand principle. And that's why we have this so-called karma. Paul calls it, whatever a man sows, so shall we reap. It's a gentle reminder that you have done it wrong and need to correct it. So whatever you did wrong in the past and is haunting you, don't give up. It's a gentle reminder that you did it wrong and you need to correct it. Our business is to correct our life, isn't it? You see? You are not ill because we are predestined to be sick. No, the devil did this to us. For example, I'm giving that example. We are not ill because we are predestined to be sick, but you are sick because you have broken the rules, isn't it? Corona came because we broke the rules somehow in nature. No? Cholera comes, it will be raining soon and it's hot. If we don't unblock the drainages, we'll be sick. It's not because it's a predestined sickness. So these things we need to be aware of as human beings as we go along in life. Worrying is a negative situation. Stop worrying. It impairs your success and your health. Worrying will damage your health and it will impair your health and your success. So worrying is a negative situation. Lamentation 3:9, wherefore doth a living man complain? Why are you worrying? A man for the punishment of his own sin. Everything we are in is because we didn't do it right somewhere. Either ourselves or collectively as humanity, isn't it? Some sins you are affected out of association. So we will never be happy, family, until we begin to do the simple things well. Simple things must be done well. I like Brother Levy's ideas. You know, he'll come to me, Rev, I'm doing this small thing just to have something. So we need to do simple things. We will never be happy until we begin to do simple things well. Coming to church, loving a brother, simple things must be done well. You have a home outside, grow a garden. You wake up in the morning, have a shower, right? Clean yourself, some perfume, roll on. Smell good. Wash your clothes. Brush your shoes. Clean your stockings. This is what I mean. Live a good life. You go outside, grow a garden. Say hi to a friend. To your enemy too. So we will never be happy until we begin to do the simple things well. And when we conquer the simple things, we will realize that difficult things aren't necessary. I'm telling you, simple things, they make your life fulfilling. You have a fulfilled life in simple things. So family, those are just, it's a small thing I wanted to encourage you with. That we are a household and we're moving on, especially talking to the elders, because usually I'm not in town. You need to push on. Come over, there are a lot of lessons. Listen to the YouTube messages. Pick up something and come and share. Because we need to improve on our humanity. We need to live in the truth. I hope this makes sense. It does. Unless there are any questions, but we'll wrap it up. We'll meet you next Sunday. again. This was a recording. We couldn't do a live show, but we'll upload this online so that you can go through again. See you next Sunday. For those who will be listening to this audio, bye.